This cat is known across the internet as the most badass feline around. Not only does it lead a flock of over 1,000 sheep, but it also keeps them in perfect order. Hailing from the Hulenbuir grassland, this cat takes on the hefty responsibility of being the lead cat. Even though the entire grassland is its domain, it decided to take on the impossible, a job traditionally reserved for sheepdogs. While sheepdogs herd sheep, this cat's unique talent is leading them. When it guides the flock across the fields, it exudes an aura of authority and command that no other cat can match. Other cats might have cute and cuddly faces, but this one has the look of a true king, always displaying a sense of disdain and superiority. Every day after herding the sheep, this cat enjoys a stroll with its mate. They start the day with a walk in the morning sun and end it by chasing the sunset and relaxing. After patrolling their territory, they snuggle up and groom each other. These two are living the dream retirement life, aren't they?
Hearing some strange noises outside, the woman went to check and found a few foxes on the windowsill, their eyes glowing green, clearly begging for food. She quickly pulled out some quail eggs and gave them to the foxes. They were very polite, each one getting an egg, and some even seemed a bit shy, especially the red fox in the corner. It was initially quite bashful, but after the woman called out to it, it finally gathered the courage to take an egg. Next, a white fox showed up. It started by hiding shyly but couldn't resist the food and eventually snatched an egg, even showing its gratitude. These foxes are actually ones the woman has rescued and taken in. Although they often hang around the yard, they still live in the wild. She enjoys these moments of interaction, giving them food and playing with them. The foxes charm her with their antics, and she uses her cat-petting skills to train them well, adding a lot of fun to the yard. So, do you like these affectionate and polite foxes?
This cat attending online classes might just be the grumpiest cat on the internet. When other cats get mad, they either zoom around or throw a fit, but this one pouts like a little person who needs their partner to cheer them up. Its chubbiness makes it even funnier. Just looking at that round head makes you want to give it a little flick. At first, I thought it looked fat because of its fluffy fur, but after seeing it in the bath with no shrinkage, I realized it's all solid chub. It moves like a cute little piggy and loves pig plushies too. Its room is filled with them. It attends online classes with its piggy pals, complains about the owner to the piggies when it's mad, plays with them, takes them outside, and even picks one to sleep with every night. This cat also loves dressing up in all kinds of outfits. When it puts on a mermaid costume, it looks like it's about to burst at the seams. In other outfits, it looks like a little baby. So what color sack should we use for such an adorable kitty?
This parrot can be described as the trickster master of the zoo. It silently climbed onto the iron cage of the little monkey, which frightened the little monkey and threw it to the ground. The parrot chirped triumphantly. It turns out that it usually loves to play pranks. Although it is a star in front of tourists, can dance, do pull-ups, and is loved by the elder sister, it is very jealous of the little monkey. Seeing her eldest sister feeding the little monkey milk, Xiaolan became jealous and even attacked the little monkey. After the administrator found out, he gave it a stern warning and thought it was so clingy because it was lonely. Because in the zoo, other parrots have partners, but he is the only one who seems particularly lonely. So the administrator specially found a beautiful female parrot for it. When she met her new partner for the first time, she seemed a little shy, but he soon became immersed in his new relationship and completely ignored the jealousy and competition for favor. Even when the eldest sister appeared again holding the little monkey, it only glanced at it indifferently.
This shepherd dog is obsessed with chasing after a little lamb. To keep things in check, the owner had to put the lamb in a protective suit. You'd think that would solve the problem, but no. This dog's next move was even more outrageous, making everyone cringe. Desperate, the owner finally decided to tie the dog up. But even then, the dog wouldn't quit. Whenever the lamb passed by, it would paw at the fence. In frustration, the owner decided to send the dog back home. Turns out, the dog's home life was just as messy. It's not only a troublemaker outside, but also has a nasty streak at home. Whenever it's left alone, it takes out its anger on its wife, beating her up before rushing back out to chase the lamb. The dog bolts to the farm with lightning speed, and even from behind the fence, it drools all over the place. Unable to control its fervor, it bursts through the fence and throws itself at the lamb with relentless affection, giving it no break whatsoever. It's basically the worst of the worst in the dog world. The beluga whale was squirting water at the girl. One squirt wasn't enough, so it kept going. Turns out, this beluga had a crush on a male zookeeper and was jealous because the girl was too close to him. This beluga, named Coco, is the only female beluga in the zoo. On the other side of the wall are two male belugas who are her admirers. These brothers are not only handsome, but also super smart. When the zookeeper asked if they liked Coco, they both nodded eagerly. But when asked if they liked the male zookeeper, they shook their heads so hard, it looked like they might fall off. Looks like they've figured out why they've been single for so long. Even though these two male belugas are great, Coco only has eyes for her favorite zookeeper. Whenever other zookeepers try to get close to her, she just dives into the water. But when her favorite guy shows up, she acts just like a clingy girlfriend, rushing over for some affection, totally absorbed in their little world. The girl zookeeper doesn't stand a chance, which really gives the zookeepers a headache.
The fox sneaked into the yard of a house and stole a slipper. What's going on? It turned out that the fox had been hungry for several days. In desperation, it began to look for food in human homes. The homeowner discovered the fox's whereabouts through the camera, but did not drive it away. Out of his love for small animals, he decided to help the fox survive the cold winter. The next day, the homeowner put 3 chicken legs in the yard, and sure enough, the fox came again. It carefully took the chicken leg away and ran to a safe place to eat. As time went by, the fox visited the house every day and gradually became familiar with the location of the yard and began to trust the homeowner. A month later, the fox was no longer afraid of the homeowner's presence and would even eat in the homeowner's company. Sometimes it would wander around the yard and use the homeowner's slippers as toys. The homeowner also began to try hand feeding, and although the fox was hesitant at first, he eventually chose to trust. With help from homeowners, the fox made it through the winter. The giant panda was about to give birth, and the intense labor pains had her in serious distress. The caretaker quickly rushed over to comfort her, offering words of encouragement. Time ticked by slowly, and then suddenly, the panda mom sat up. With a long cry, her water broke, and the first panda cub was born without any issues. Gently, the panda mom cradled her newborn. Although she should have felt some relief after the birth, she kept panting in the corner. Not long after, the second cub arrived. The caretaker quickly took the newborns to the nursery. After a thorough checkup, it turned out both cubs were perfectly healthy. Since the panda mom couldn't care for both babies at once, one of them would need to be hand-raised. To make sure the cubs got the nutrients they needed, the caretaker expressed fresh milk from the mom and, before feeding, gently rubbed the cubs' backs to mimic the mom's licking, helping them calm down. The little ones eagerly drank up the milk. Every day, the caretakers monitor the health of both cubs, hoping they'll grow strong and be back with their mom soon. The dog frantically searched for the body of its owner in the ruins. It kept howling towards the sky, begging its owner to give it a response. But what it didn't know was that its owner had been sent to the hospital. It turned out that half a month ago, a sudden fire turned its and Grandpa's only shelter into ruins. When the dog escaped from the fire, it never saw Grandpa again. It limped and wandered on the street, its eyes constantly searching for people coming and going, completely ignoring the pain of its wounds. Whenever a vehicle passed by, it would go to check with great expectations, but every expectation eventually turned into disappointment. The rescuers had no choice but to go to the hospital and found Grandpa. Soon it was the day for Grandpa to be discharged from the hospital. When the dog saw Grandpa, he rushed to Grandpa at a high speed. After more than a month of painful suffering, the man and the dog were finally reunited. Da Huang kept wiping Grandpa's tears with his tongue as if to say, "I will never leave you again."
Seeing this, I couldn't help but tear up. The man watched in despair as flames devoured his home, his heart burning along with it. Desperate and trembling, he pleaded with the firefighters.
Oh my God! My God, please take me out!
At first, the firefighters thought there might still be people trapped inside. Finally, one of them emerged from the smoke, cradling a soot-covered little gray kitten. The man gently took the kitten into his arms, as if he was holding the entire world. He quickly moved away from the fire, and then, overcome with emotion, he collapsed to the ground, holding his beloved kitten close and crying his heart out. For him, this cat, who had been by his side for over a decade, was an irreplaceable part of his life. After the tears, his first priority was to cool the kitten down with water, making sure it wouldn't suffer any more harm. The firefighters managed to put out the blaze, and after a checkup at the vet, the 14-year-old kitty was doing well.
The woman never imagined that the koala she saved from a wildfire would cling to her so tightly when they met again. Back then, the koala had been walking along a road, but the flames were too intense for anyone to approach, and they could only watch as it disappeared into the fire. After the blaze, the woman rushed into the devastated forest, desperately searching for the koala. Luckily, she found it alive but injured among the ruins. She immediately gave it water and tried to cool it down, afraid it might pass out from dehydration. The koala still seemed shaken by the ordeal. The woman took it to the nearest wildlife rescue center without hesitation. The koala had severe burns on its limbs and couldn't climb trees for a while. Thankfully, with the care of the rescue team, it slowly recovered. Months later, when the woman visited the koala at the zoo, she was surprised when it sniffed her and immediately recognized her, hugging her tightly. It was as if the koala knew she had given it a second chance at life. On a rainy morning, a man rushing to work noticed a small puppy shivering in the rain. Though pressed for time, he quickly found a foam box to shield the little dog from the downpour and left some food to keep it from going hungry. That evening, after work, he couldn't stop thinking about the puppy and decided to go back and find it. He brought the puppy home, where he didn't yet have a dog bed, so he used his own sweater to keep it warm. He fed the pup some warm milk and dog food and then gave it a nice warm bath. The next day, the man took the puppy to the vet for a checkup and vaccinations to ensure it was healthy. He bought delicious food and a cozy bed for the little dog, and from that moment on, they began their life together. The man often played with the puppy, whose eyes sparkled with gratitude, while the man's heart filled with warmth and contentment. They became each other's companions, finding true friendship and companionship in their new life together.
Can you believe it? This once tough little cat quickly warmed up, thanks to the girl who helped it out. Not too long ago, while the girl was on a business trip, she often fed the stray cats in the area. One late night, she came across a scruffy little kitty that was clearly starving and followed her around. Feeling bad, she gave it some cat food. Even though the cat was hungry, it was too scared to come close. The next morning, the cat came back for more food, and that's when she realized just how beautiful it was, sparking the idea to adopt it. She tried a few times to get near, but the clever cat always ran off. Eventually, she managed to catch it using a humane trap dot. At first, though, the cat was super wary of her, even scratching her a few times, but she didn't give up. She patiently stayed by its side, taking care of it. Over time, the cat slowly started to trust her. She even brought it home, got it checked out by a vet, and made sure it got all its vaccinations. Now, the cat's a part of her family. Even though it's still a little stubborn, with all the love it's getting, it's sure to grow into a happy and loved pet.
The obscene male dog observed every move of the female dog in the house. The little bitch was lying down and resting comfortably. Suddenly, her back felt cold. When she turned around, she saw a wretched man lying on the window and gesticulating with his feet, as if he was teasing the little bitch. The little bitch couldn't help but yelled angrily, but in the end it was of no avail, and she could only let it peek. However, the male dog's obscene behavior of peeping was discovered by his wife. Without saying a word, he came forward to argue with her husband. The male dog did not show any weakness and held his wife back. At this time, the puppies were attracted by the sound of their parents playing and ran out to watch the fun. For the sake of the children, they stopped fighting. But things are not that simple. Just let it go. And the wife kicked her husband out of the house directly. It went to sleep on the street, and the homeless husband went to the roadside and teased Pomeranian. "It was so fun for you to chase me. I think everyone would find such a carefree dog disgusting.
One snowy day, a hurt little fox was lying by the roadside, looking helpless and weak. As a member of an animal rescue group, a young woman didn't hesitate to take the fox back to the organization. The fox was really scared and shy at first, not wanting to get close to anyone. But the woman was incredibly patient and didn't get upset. Over the next few months, she took great care of the fox, feeding it and giving it a warm, safe place to stay. As time went on, the fox started to get better and healthier. The bond between the woman and the fox grew stronger every day. She would buy toys for the fox and play with it, take it camping, and even bring it along for outdoor workouts. No matter how cold it was outside in winter, she would still take the fox out to have fun. She loved to tickle the fox, and hearing it giggle made her really happy. The woman's constant care and companionship helped the fox rebuild its trust in humans. They would often play and explore the fields together like best friends.